What's up, guys? Gamer Explosion is here, and today I'm gonna be talking about something very different than from what I usually do on my channel. But I came across this video that you see in the right side, or about Arlo. This dude named Nukem Nintendo. He, I don't know a lot about him. He makes a lot of videos, probably criticizing a lot. Like, I watched 3 of his videos that we're gonna watch right now, and it's pretty ridiculous. Like, like this is by far the most bizarre dude I've ever seen in YouTube. So, I wanted to make this video just to go over what he talks about in these videos and just talk about the reality of it, just contradict them, because they are pretty ridiculous. So let's get started.
Alright guys, I gotta reply to this stupid video real quick. Now this is a guy.
This is a common thing he does. He always, all these videos I've seen, he's called these people a dumb and insults them all the time. And so this is gonna be a common thing that he'll probably do forever.
And known as 8-Bit Eric, and every now and then he actually makes some really good videos. And as a matter of fact, he was on a roll recently, just calling out all of the woke-tards working at Sony and PlayStation, and all of the degenerates out there who are celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. He was doing a really good job, but of course, because this is another dumb grifter and he wants to grow his channel, he's basically just a sheep. He just basically agrees with what the majority of people on the internet agree with. So he decided he was going to make this stupid video called Nintendo is scamming fans with Switch 2 prices. Alright, I already made a video about this, about what Nintendo is doing, and let me just say, this idiot, with all the other idiots out there, keep saying that Nintendo is scamming their own fans. No, they're not scamming their own fans. They're not really trying to price anybody out. They're just making it difficult for you stupid multi-console owners to buy other games on other systems. Why should Nintendo make their games cheap so you morons can then spend all that extra money on PlayStation and other trash games out there?
This is something he does all the time. He talks crap about the multi-console owners, like accusing them of just like, you buy PlayStation, and just because of that you can't really afford Nintendo because you buy pieces of trash like PlayStation. That doesn't really add anything up to it.
That is what Nintendo is doing, and it's about time somebody starts explaining this. That's exactly what I think Nintendo is doing. That's what I believe. If you have looked at and
it's not just PlayStation owners and Xbox. There are legit Nintendo fans out there that only play Nintendo, and even then they don't agree with these prices. So
into the history of Nintendo and the way they think, their mindset, I think this makes perfect sense. And let me just say this: when Nintendo games used to be cheaper and more affordable, they did not sell nearly as much as they do now on the regular Switch and Switch 2. That is a fact. And that's probably because you guys have no choice but to primarily buy their video games over other companies' video games. When they make their games cheaper, you didn't buy them as much. You did buy a few of them, but you didn't buy them as much, and you spend most of your money on PlayStation and Xbox games.
It's still going on with it. Yeah, totally that. Just like, let's just say that Super Mario Bros. Wii never sold over 100 million copies. I don't know the official number. I'll probably find it eventually. But yeah, Mario Bros. Wii didn't sell that well. Wii Sports didn't sell that well. Wii Sports Resort didn't do well. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's not that Nintendo's scamming their own fan base. No, it's just you dumb console owners, you multi-console owners. That's it. Those are the only ones that's crying about the prices of Nintendo's video games. So let's go ahead and listen to this idiot.
After this lady's
Hold on a second. Sorry about that. I had to answer a phone call. But let's go back to what he was talking about. Might have to go back a few, because I don't remember.
Correct.
Fan base? No, it's just you that's crying about the price.
This latest direct, fans went to go pre-order all these new games that were announced, and their wallets immediately regretted it. Some of these game prices are insane.
Their wallets immediately regretted it. How do you know, you f***ing idiot? Do you know what people make? Do you know how much money they got in their damn bank account? Like, shut the f*** up. You don't know these people. You don't know whether they could afford these games or not. If they are Nintendo fans only, and they only play Nintendo consoles, or sorry, Nintendo video games, and only buy Nintendo consoles, who are you to say that they're being screwed over financially by Nintendo? They're not. It's only you dumb who buy fucking PlayStation and Xbox. All right? So shut the fuck up with that bullshit. Don't fucking say, oh, their wallets immediately regret it. Shut up. All right? I am buying a whole bunch of games for my Switch and Switch 2, and my wallet ain't regretting it.
I like that he got so upset by the comment of just people are just buying stuff and their wallets are just regretting it. I like that he gets so offensive over that one. I'm pretty sure that's just... I have no comment for it. I have nothing to say about that.
You know why? Because I'm also not being a dumb and buying a PlayStation 5 and buying games on that.
Donkey Kong Bonanza, okay, fine. $70 for a brand new game that is Switch 2 exclusive is somewhat reasonable. Then we have Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, which are $40 each, or $70 together.
Oh no.
Think about that for a second, guys. These are Wii games. They're slightly upscaled, a bit of polish, maybe an extra story page. I don't know, they made a big deal about that storybook and having new pages. Who gives a shit about that? But
who gives a shit? A lot of fans, you idiot. There's a lot of people who are excited about that. But you're out of touch. You're out of touch with the actual consumers because you're just a stupid multi-console owner and you're a YouTuber. See, it's you fake YouTubers who are crying the most about these prices going up because you care about your damn channel.
I want to comment on the fact that he said everyone that is a Nintendo fan would be excited over this. I literally have friends that are massive Nintendo friends. Not one of them has mentioned about the storybook making them so excited for it. And I'm a Nintendo fan myself. I don't care.
Basically trying to like buy every system and every video game out there so you can cover it, you can talk about it, and fans of those other systems and games can subscribe to your stupid YouTube channel. That's the only reason why you idiots are so upset about this. And you're over here acting like, who cares about that? Who gives a shit about that? Let's see, fans of the actual video games, you idiot. And in case you didn't know, you just admitted that people are buying this damn collection. People are actually buying the Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 collection. So
of course people are gonna buy it. Like, no
what, are you gonna attack them? You're gonna call them, corporate bootlickers? I love it when these morons call...
I love that, corporate bootlickers. That's funny.
Nintendo anti-consumer. You labeled them anti-consumer. But when the actual
what do you say?
Anti-consumer. You labeled them anti-consumer. But when the actual consumers purchase the damn games and the systems because they have no problem with it whatsoever, you idiots then attack the consumers.
No, they're not attacking the consumers, like, not whatsoever. They're talking about how Nintendo knows that they can just get away with these prices, and nor do they really care because people are going to buy them anyway. We're not attacking the people that buy these games. Like, that's fine. You can buy these games. I may not agree with it, but it's all for you. Like, I'm happy that you got it and you love it. I have the game, and I played it for a little bit and stopped.
So who's really the anti-consumers here? Not Nintendo. It's you idiots. It's you dumbasses. Y'all are the ones who are getting mad at the consumers. Oh, they're anti-consumer. Consumers purchase the game because they have no issue with the price. Oh, corporate bootlickers. Dude, shut the up.
Suddenly, because of all that, Nintendo wants full modern game pricing. Compare that to Final Fantasy VII Remake on Switch 2, which is fully rebuilt. It's a modern game, and it's only $40. $40.
It's only $40, just like Super Mario Galaxy 1 or 2. Like, what is your dumb even saying here? And you know what? You know why it's, only $40 and just like Super Mario Galaxy? You know why Super Mario Galaxy doesn't have to be cheaper? Because it's high on demand, dumb. It's actually high in demand, right?
Okay. It may be high on demand, but when Mario Galaxy was new at the time for the Wii, it was $40, which is fine because it was new at the time. But eventually, like a few years later, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 made it to the Nintendo Selects and was $20 cheaper. And nowadays, I have Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. I got them for $15 each. I paused for a little bit, I'm sorry. I got both of them for $15 each. So, and also, Final Fantasy VII Remake came out in 2020. A whole for the PS4. It was $60. It made sense. It was a full-on remake. And a year later, it came out for the PS5 with the Integrate enhancement. And now we have Final Fantasy VII Remake on the Switch 2 finally, a whole 5 to 6 years later, for $40. That makes sense because it's already been over 5 years. Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 are literally over a decade old.
Final Fantasy VII. More people care about Super Mario Galaxy right now than that overrated game.
Yeah, a lot of people care about Mario Galaxy, but that doesn't warrant Nintendo to make them that expensive. Like, it doesn't make sense. People love the games. Oh, Nintendo. People like Mario Galaxy a lot. So, let's make it $40. Make people pay for it. No, it doesn't make sense at all.
For games that were on the Wii that aren't even remastered, don't have much in way of new upgrades. Oh, but if you buy them separate, you'll get a deal. You'll have to get these for $70. And people are like, oh, well, they cost more now, and these are cheaper than when they first came out. Guys, there's plenty of ways to play these games much cheaper. I mean, if you already have 3D All-Stars, you already have Super Mario Galaxy 1 on it. You even want to go a cheaper route, just go buy an actual Wii and buy both of these games, and you're spending less money than what it costs in order to play these. This is absurd.
I wonder if that's true or not. Like, can you actually get a Wii right now for a pretty good deal and get these games?
I actually did that for you. Here on eBay, people are selling a Nintendo Wii with all these bundles and stuff, or just buy the Wii by itself. It's literally under $100. Like, sure, it may go up to $300 to $200 on eBay, but look at this one right here. This guy is asking $50, and the same thing goes for Facebook Marketplace. A lot of people are selling their Wii consoles just under $100. So yeah, you can definitely get a Wii console just under $100. And like I said, I got Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 both for just $15 each. So if you do the math here, you'll be spending like at least $150 on these games. While the Switch 2, you'd be spending like $450 or $500 if you get the Mario Kart World bundle, and you get Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 with that $70 bundle. And by the way, the Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 that are sold individually, that's like $10 more if you buy both of them. So in reality, you'd be spending like over $500 for that. So that is a really good point that he's bringing up.
I mean, I wish he would provide some proof and evidence for this. He just says, oh, there's cheaper ways to get this game. And here's the thing, look, You're a idiot. People have their Switch 2, Switch 1s probably hooked up. They probably don't want to have to get another console to hook up just so they can play these games.
But a lot of people don't want to spend that much money just for a console. They can just get one for cheaper. So there is some debate with that.
You ever thought of that? It's a lot easier to just get these games on the system you currently have hooked up to your damn TV. Moron.
This is literal nickel and diming for games that aren't providing value. And like I said, Metroid Prime Remastered.
Games that aren't providing value, yet people value these games, that's why they buy them.
No, that's not what he meant by that at all. He means that Nintendo is not adding much content to make it that valuable. And yes, people may value these games, that's fine. But that's not what he meant.
This is a game that was on GameCube. It got a remaster. It's in HD. It looks better. It has substantial upgrades, substantial quality of life changes to it. And it's priced at $40, which is a better value than you're getting for each of the Mario Galaxy games.
It is priced at $40 because the games never really sell that great to begin with. That is how Nintendo works, okay? That's just common business sense 101.
I'm willing to go against that. Metroid Prime on the original GameCube, it sold 2.84 million copies. And it was the best-selling Metroid game until Metroid Dread picked it up. That is actually pretty damn good. Why would they do that? Why would they remaster Metroid Prime if the game didn't sell well? That doesn't make sense.
If the game didn't sell that well when it was first released, and you make a remastered of it, why would you try to sell it for $70, right? When Mario RPG, when they released Super Mario RPG for the Switch, people originally were not buying the game, so they lowered the price to $40. Okay?
Wait a minute.
When they released Super Mario RPG for the Switch, people originally were not buying the game, so they lowered the price to $40. Okay?
They made Mario RPG for the hardcore fans that are big fans of the original Mario RPG to begin with. I love Mario RPG. I was excited when this game was announced, so obviously I bought it and played it, and I beat it. Like that.
They will do that. If the game does not seem to be valued by gamers and fans, they will lower the price on it. The reason they gave us a remastered Metroid Prime for just $4.
They sold Mario RPG for $60, not $40. That never happened.
$40 is because the game was not a bestseller to begin with. It didn't sell that great on the GameCube. That is why.
Don't get me wrong, I love Mario.
That is why. Not a bestseller to begin with. It didn't sell that great on the GameCube. That is why.
We already went through that. It was considered the best-selling Metroid game of all time during that time. So, not a good solid argument.
Don't get me wrong, I love Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, but Nintendo is literally taking advantage of people with their pricing structures because they know nostalgia.
Again, I just like how stupid this guy. I mean, he's crying because Metroid Prime Remastered was also released at $40, and so therefore Mario Galaxy should be less because Metroid Prime Remastered. It's actually remastered. Well, again, not a game that is high on demand.
It doesn't matter if it's high on demand. They literally remastered Metroid Prime because that's like 2 decades old. And obviously they want to port this game just so people can have something to play with while they were still working on Metroid Prime 4. That's how it worked. And also what 8-Bit Eric was mentioning is that they did it. They released Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 at full price because of nostalgia reasons. That's really it. That's the whole reason they made that.
Okay? It's not rocket science, dude.
And it makes absolutely no sense at all.
It does make sense. You're just stupid, and you're just repeating what the rest of the dumb internet is saying.
No. That's not a good reason either. It doesn't make sense because you're a dumbass. No.
Instead of actually having some critical thinking ability.
Okay, not all games are...
It does make sense. You're just stupid, and you're just repeating what the rest of the dumb internet is saying, instead of actually having some critical thinking ability.
You didn't give any critical points to prove that anyway, so...
Okay, not all games are created equal. How can a remaster be 40, but a game that you barely touch it and do anything to is also 40? Is it because it has Mario in the title? Then there's the...
Because it sold better, dumb
The Virtual Boy add-on. Let's
It's
break
because
this
of
down,
nostalgia,
guys.
man.
You need $100 to play a handful of Virtual Boy games released over time. You're not getting them all at once. And it's a basic plastic clamshell. It does...
Okay, Virtual Boy, I could understand people not being a fan of this, and guess what? If it doesn't sell that well, maybe they'll drop the price. Who knows? I don't really care that much about it to begin with.
They could, but I highly doubt it, knowing Nintendo.
Let's see what else he's got besides Virtual Boy and all this. I want to see what's the next thing he cries about. It's probably going to be about the Donkey Kong DLC. Kirby amiibos. Okay, yeah, he's going to cry about the Kirby amiibos or whatever. But these are amiibos that you do not have to get. Let's see.
Yeah, you don't have to get the amiibos, but there are hardcore amiibo fans who collect these stuffs on a regular. And I don't know, I don't remember if I remember this precisely, but I remember that they used to be like 15, 20 bucks for an amiibo. At least that's how much I was spending, maybe less. But these new amiibos now, we got the Donkey Kong Bonanza one, Mario Galaxy got their own amiibo, we got Kirby Air Riders and Metroid Prime 4. All of them are around like 30 to 50 bucks. Kirby Air Riders could make sense because you can literally pop the figures out of their Air Riders and swap them out. That could make sense. But how could Metroid Prime 4 figure where Samus is on a bike be 50 and Samus Aran by herself be 30? Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, I think this is going to be the part where he cries about Donkey Kong Bonanza.
just came out 2 months ago. How is there already DLC except that it was probably cut out from the final game?
Alright. Stupid ass is crying about this. How is there already DLC? Why the f we even crying about the fact that we're getting DLC early? Oh, because you dumb you just want to have something to about. So it's like, oh, it was cut out from the game. No, stupid probably just made DLC when the game was already completed before it was going to be launched, and they decided to quickly work on DLC.
Well, usually when Nintendo makes DLC, it's fine to make DLC. Like, that's completely fine. But they usually wait about a year before they release it. And also, the reason why we can complain about Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC is because there's really nothing to that DLC. Like, all there is just trials. Like, that's really it. After those trials are done, there's really nothing else to do. There's nothing in that DLC, so I wouldn't think it would be warrant for that $20 price tag anyway, because there's really not much to it other than trials. But even then, you can get that done within 30 minutes to an hour.
You ever thought of that? Why do you dumb just jump to these conclusions? Oh, they took this already out of the game and made a DLC. You don't know that, you piece of shit. Don't make lies and shit because you want to channel the rage of morons on the internet to try to get more.
He didn't say that was confirmed though. Like, he just said that maybe they took it out of the game. And you're calling him a liar, saying like, no, this didn't happen. Like, how would you know that? that's just a theory. Like, don't get upset over it. And plus, you don't know either, so don't make these claims.
More views on your stupid video. You.
They're not fooling us, guys.
They're not fooling us. Shut the fuck up. You don't know that. You're acting like this is a damn fact. It's not. You don't know that that is a fact. All right? People are crying about this. Could it be that after they completed a game or whatever, and then they began polishing it up, they just began working on extra content so they could keep the game alive, keep breathing life into the game? I think that's better than, okay, we made a great game.
Keeping the game alive? Donkey Kong Bonanza is a single player game. Like, how are you keeping it alive? And what would be the point of that DLC when it didn't add much to it? If that was the whole goal, keeping this goal alive, they probably would have done more with it.
Now, for like 6 months later is when we're going to add DLC to it. No, I think it's smarter for them to have DLC ready to be launched sooner. Now, people are crying.
Also, I just realized Cranky Kong looks exactly the same as he has been over the years now. Nothing to nitpick. I thought it was just a funny little thing.
About the Pokemon game and whatnot, and while that's a lot more understandable, I think it might be the same thing. They just started working on, they finished the game up, began polishing it, and decided, hey, while we're polishing this game, before we release it, let's also work on some DLC, some content that people have the freedom to choose to buy for it, right? You don't have to buy this DLC. People were fine with DLC, but like suddenly now that it's coming out quicker so you can enjoy the game again, that's a problem.
Because they didn't add any new content to it. Like, that's the problem here. All there is just trials. And an island that you can explore, but there's no, like, bananas in it, there's no collectibles in it. It's just a big land. That's all there is.
This affects all of us.
And also, another thing I'd like to mention is that Pokemon Legends ZA, they announced DLC for the game before it even came out. And that DLC came out the same day that Pokemon Legends ZA came out. And so if you were to buy Legends ZA and get the DLC that day, or maybe later, you would have been spending $100 for it.
Affects me, affects you as a fan.
Nope, it doesn't affect all of us. It only affects you dumb pricks who buy multiple consoles, buy 50 games a year because you have to have every single freaking game that comes out that people talk about.
And yet he has no evidence to prove that Nintendo players don't have a problem with that, and it's only for the multi-console owners.
Only affects you stupid grifters on YouTube who want to grow your damn channel, and so you have to get every single console, every single video game out there. Dude, just shut the fuck up. Anyways, this was my quick reaction to this clown, 8-Bit Eric. He normally does do good videos. Again, this is a guy who hates libtard.
He even mentions that he does good videos at the beginning and after this whole video. And just for some reason, it's just this video that he decides to go against it. And I'm going to talk about later in this video, probably at the end of it, where I pretty much just tell what I think about Nukem. But let's talk about the next video, because it is just as stupid.
And here's the thing, I mean, we've gotten some great video games. We played that. Anybody who was able to get it when that glitch happened, I think when he first started, the puppet would be right there. I'd be appeal to those people at point time. They're gonna listen to this dumb.
Alright, I skipped like a few segments here because he just continues calling Arlo a grifter and all this other stuff, and nothing serious at all. So I just skipped like 4 minutes ahead of it so we can get to the main problem.
Fraud.
It seems that Nintendo is having a worse than expected holiday season.
Worse than expected.
How much worse? Quite a lot worse, actually. Like, kind of way worse.
Kind of way worse. Let me just say this right now. When it comes to the, the console sales being down, how much they're down by from last November, PlayStation 5 is down by 40%. 40%, okay? Even though they had the $150 discount, they were the only ones that had a big, huge discount on their system, and yet they're still down by 40% from last year.
What does this do? What does this have to do with Nintendo? Like, he just brought this up for no reason. And yes, PlayStation did had a $150 discount. It made sense. PlayStation is over 5 years old, so obviously they would do it. And Xbox, they're too busy increasing their prices. That's just my thought.
That should be way more worrying. More people should be talking about that. Like, damn, they took $150 off their system and they're still down by 40%. But this Arlo guy, this pretentious piece of shit, he wants to talk about Nintendo instead because he knows that's what's gonna get him the most views, the most likes and comments and engagement and all that. Guy's a fake ass.
It sounds bad, and it is bad. It certainly is. Obviously, the holidays, they're supposed to be a really big deal. It's when a company like Nintendo expects to see their absolute best sales outside of like a console launch. And it's
Yeah, that would be the case if they actually did a huge discount on their system, which they didn't. You f***ed it. This guy's not even mentioning that. He's not even explaining to people that they did not have any real Black Friday deals whatsoever. Like, virtually none.
Switch 2's...
The Switch 2 is 6 months old, man.
First...
Like, the Switch 2 is, 6 months old. Nintendo can decide if they want to discount it or not. You're criticizing PlayStation for having a $150 discount and having a 40% down thing, whatever you said. It doesn't make sense. PlayStation 5 has been around way longer than the Switch 2 has. So that's a pretty dumb argument that you try to make there.
Holiday season, so very, very high hopes going in. And then, of course, here in the U.S., November in particular is the absolute single biggest shopping month of the entire year. They will never move more units than they will in November. And yet, they did not move a lot of units in November. Okay, we cannot get too carried away here. There are predictably a lot of people just chomping at the bit to declare Switch 2 a huge failure and claim that all of this was inevitable. It was always going to happen. It's all Nintendo's fault. This is what they get. This is their comeuppance. But, there really are a lot of factors to consider here. And
now, it's funny how he says this. He's trying to act like he's not doing the same thing. Oh, there's a lot of people ready to declare Nintendo's a failure. It's like, you just upload this dumb video acting like it's only Nintendo who is having this problem and acting like, their sales have flatlined or whatever. No, they haven't flatlined, dip. It's very simple. They didn't.
Yeah, he didn't do that whatsoever. He didn't say, or he didn't act like Nintendo was failing. Not whatsoever. That's just a dumb claim that you made. And also, he's a Nintendo content creator. Of course, he's gonna talk about Nintendo specifically. That's just the main theme of this video. So don't be upset that he's just talking about that. Whoops.
They didn't have any great Black Friday deals. None for the Switch 2. None for Switch 2 games for that matter. So guess what? They didn't sell a lot. That should be a no-brainer, you idiot. Why would you expect their consoles just skyrocket in sales in the month of November if they didn't actually have any sales?
Nintendo was expecting the sales to be good. Not Arlo.
You know, people, you know, people get magazines in their email or whatever showing them what the holiday sales and everything for Black Friday and whatnot. Like Nintendo didn't put any sales on their systems, so people aren't going to go you know, expecting a Switch 2 or anything like that to be on sale. You know, like I don't know what this idiot's even talking about, but it's funny how he's like, oh well, now people are chomping at the bit to say Switch 2 is a failure. It's like, that's kind of what you're doing right here. Why are you pretending like that like you're not doing that right now? Of course, what he's really doing is he's grifting, and he's, you know, simping for all of the Nintendo haters, as he usually does, because he's a fraud.
Why would he be sipping on Nintendo haters? Like, that was so out of nowhere. And he calls him a fraud, but again, you're not really proving anything to support your claim.
This isn't me defending Nintendo. It is a fact that there are a lot of factors to consider here, not the least of which being we are currently in a very, very serious cost of living crisis. And the worse this gets, the more these companies increase their prices because, you know, they don't want to make less money this year than they did last year. But then that hurts us multiple times over because now a game system, for example, is more expensive and our money is worth less. It is more precious. Many of us are basically fighting to survive here. And this is something
Most of us are fighting to survive here. This guy's a idiot. He makes it sound like we're living in a post-apocalyptic world or something like that. Like we're like, you know, this is Max Payne or something. And no, sorry, Mad Max in real life. You know,
It may sound like that to you, but these are actual serious things. Like, we are living in a big how do I say this? We are living in serious conditions where we have to, like, work very hard to survive. We gotta pay for our food. We gotta eat. We gotta pay our bills. There's not a lot we can do about it.
he's acting like, you know, we're just like freaking live.
And another thing is that these consoles nowadays, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, they're like around like close to $500 now. Obviously, people are not going to want to pay for that. That's way too expensive.
Living in a freaking zombie wasteland or something. This guy's a idiot. Like, no, we're not. Is not that freaking bad. All right, it's really not that bad. And I think I know where he's going with this. I think he's going to try to act like, you know, he's going to try to be political about this and act like, oh, this is Republicans' fault. You know, he's going to say some dumb like that or whatever. Even though the price of gas was way higher when Biden was in office, but I'm not going to talk too much on that. But yeah, this guy, this stupid, like.
And Trump caused tariffs.
The people who keep acting like we are living in the cost of living crisis or whatever, as he put it, I am still seeing a ton of people go out of their way to spend $6 damn on freaking Starbucks coffee. Most overrated coffee, and people are still spending a ton of money on that. I'm seeing people constantly get food from fast food, from restaurants and everything constantly.
And I wonder why that's a terrible thing. Like, honestly, if I wanted to, I would rather just spend $6 for freaking Starbucks coffee than spending over hundreds of dollars for a video game console.
Instead of making their own food, which is the far cheaper alternative, you know, to just get real food from the stores, meal prep, cook all that food, and you're saving yourself hundreds of dollars. No, there's people who are still going out of their way to spend money on fast food and restaurants and everything like that. But yet people also want to act like, oh, we're struggling here. We're struggling to survive. Shut the hell up. It's that you people just suck with money. That's all it is. You guys are just stupid. You don't know how to like wisely, you know, spend your money, or you don't know how to like plan things out, you know, meal prep, things like that. You're just not.
Maybe so. Not a lot of people know how to manage their money. But just coming from your words, I wouldn't think that you would know how to do it either. It's like, these are just what you are saying. Like, these aren't literal facts.
You guys are just stupid. You don't know how to. You don't know how to like wisely, spend your money, or you don't know how to like plan things out. Meal prep, things like that. You're just not smart with your money. That's basically what it comes down to. How many people are still paying for Netflix, Hulu, freaking what else? There's the HBO's another one. All these streaming services, and people are paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month just so they can sit on their ass and watch a bunch of garbage they don't need to watch. You know, you can easily.
He says this, and it makes me think, if you don't like watching, if you're just gonna watch garbage like this, then why are you making this video? Why are you watching these? If you're just gonna say that, then what's the point of this whole thing?
Save money if you want to. People can easily save money, but they don't want to do that. They just want to moan and act like everything needs to be super cheap and affordable. And here's the thing, our money isn't worth as much as it should be. We're not getting paid enough by greedy ass corporations. Why aren't people going after the corporations that aren't paying the workers as much as they should? Instead, they're going after big corporations that do pay their workers well, but they also don't make their products cheap. And they
I don't understand what you're trying to prove here.
shouldn't. Their workers work really hard to make these really great games. You want to be mad about, the cost of living or whatever, or be mad that we're not getting paid much, that the wages have not gone up. Get mad at the stupid corporations who are being greedy with their money. Try to
What? That was a me change of tone. Just he just went from we're talking about him being a grifter or something like that, and just changed from we should be mad at our companies for not paying us well. It's that's literally every single thing, dude. You realize that people that own these companies are living too, right? They have to survive as well.
can unionize wherever you work, whatever company you work for, whatever corporation you work for. Try to get everybody else to unionize so these dumb can pay y'all what you're worth. But no, nobody wants to do that. You're too lazy and pathetic. You're cowardly. You'd rather on YouTube about Nintendo or someone else.
Like you're doing. You're on this dude. Oh my god, that is funny.
About video games being too much, but not actually try to unionize and make a change, at the job that you work at. Anyways, let's continue.
I've been meaning to make a big video about for a while, and I definitely will, hopefully in early 2026, because it is a very, very big deal. We are already seeing very serious trends within the industry. We are seeing sales start to decline. Growth is kind of stalling. More and more and more people are just playing older games. And all of this is the absolute worst it has ever been right now.
I wonder, where's his statistics, his data on this? More and more people are just playing older games. Is he just getting this from stupid YouTube comments? Like a bunch of bots or a bunch of nobodies who were like, yep, time to go through my backlog.
I like to play older games. I still play them now. So, it's not really far off from that. And also, how would you know if they're bots? You wouldn't know it either. So,
time to play all my old games that I have. You see all these stupid comments lately on YouTube. People.
My parents, they have their own PS5. My mom has a PS5. My stepdad has an Xbox. But we still have this Super Nintendo that's in my room. They like to take it to the living room, plug it up, and play it. That's fine.
People pretending they're revolting and they're playing their old video games or whatever. Let me just remind you guys once again.
Well, we all would rather remember how back in the day games on the PS3 all the way down to the old days used to be fun. They used to be good. Not saying that there are not now, but they're more about like microtransactions and all that stuff. Battle royales, spending people's money. That's all they care about. Like, that's just how it is nowadays.
The Nintendo Switch
Live
2 is the
service games.
fastest selling system of all time. But he's trying to make it seem like, oh, sales are just going down. They're going down. Look, again, Switch 2 did not have any discounts for Black Friday. So you should not expect their sales to be going through the roof, you know, on the month of November when they didn't have any discounts whatsoever. It was only just recently in the month of December that they started giving some good Black Friday deals. And I think it's $50 off right now to get the Nintendo Switch 2. So
I don't know that personally, so I can't say anything about it.
yeah, that was very recent. This idiot's making a video about, you know, last month in November about something that we all...
And you're recording this now? That makes this whole thing worthless.
already knew about. We already knew Nintendo Switch 2 wasn't a big seller because they didn't have any deals. Why would people rush to the damn stores to get a Switch?
By the way, he said this video is like a month old. This dude just made this video 4 days ago. So,
Switch 2.
this is so dumb.
If they could just get it some other day or whatever,
This would have made sense
instead
if
of
it
going
was
on the
same
day that
time
everybody is going to be
that
jam-packed
this
in
video
line. You know,
that
yeah,
he's
let me
watching.
wait in line for
made a
hours
lot
just to
more
get a
sense.
console that doesn't even have a discount. Or I could just go another day, right? So it doesn't really make any sense how this idiot's just... People are acting like, you know, Nintendo, oh, they're doing really bad this holiday. They didn't have a discount. They didn't have any special sales or anything going on.
Not to get political here, but we are currently
it
watching
was
the
Black
largest
Friday, so
transfer
it
of
would've made
wealth
sense.
from the poor and working class to the rich in U.S. history.
To the rich in U.S. history. This guy's a so he says not to get political, so you know, he's trying to imply that, you know, this is happening because Donald Trump's in office. You know, it's the Republicans. That's the reason why all this is happening. You know, again, this piece of gonna act like, you know, things were much better when Biden was in office.
No, he didn't do that at all. Where did that come from?
Just remind you guys that when that piece of Biden was in office and everything like that, I mean, we had all of this bullshit going on with the oil prices just going through the roof and whatnot. Okay, let me just say this: like, you get some people are so stupid because people are gonna like act like there's one party's better than the other. Now look, Republicans are way better than Democrats. You look at every red state, then you look at the blue states. You can see which states are trash. It's always the blue states. It's always Democratic states, okay? But, you know, dumb.
He just went political on that entire thing. Like, Arlo didn't mention any of that. All he said is like he just doesn't want to get political here, and he just goes, and this guy just goes on a rampant saying like he just liked Joe Biden more, and it's like, no, that was so out of nowhere and wasn't necessary at all.
This is who only care about video games. You know, they look at this and they're like, oh, well, this just shows that, you know, we should vote Democrat because look, game prices are up and we're not getting paid anymore. It's so ridiculous.
Real time. And if that wasn't bad enough, AI is screwing everything up. I talk about this in plenty other videos going out around this time, so I won't go into the whole thing, but AI is causing humongous shortages. That's driving up prices even more. It is going to continue to drive up prices through 2026 and maybe beyond. So, yeah. Big ticket spending on luxury items is predictably down. This last November was actually the worst November for video game hardware sales in the U.S. since 1995. Wow,
I didn't
30
hear about
years. And that's in a year when
30
Nintendo
years.
put out a new console, for Pete's sake. Apparently in the U.S.
Again, you stupid doesn't matter. They put out a new console. There's not a discount on it. There's no reason people are gonna rush. No one's gonna wake up early on a Black Friday or whatever to get a console that doesn't even have a discount on it. You dipshit.
Yeah, you don't know that people can be dedicated to this kind of stuff, so yeah, no, that's not a good claim.
I love how he just keeps saying, "Oh, this is when they put out a new console, for Pete's sake." They didn't have a discount. Stupid. Tard. Good grief, this guy's a moron.
Industry only shifted
It's insulting this dude.
1.6 million units in November. Now, we don't have exact numbers for everything. We have little bits and pieces here and there. We can kind of paint a picture. I apologize if I'm misinterpreting any of this, but Sony and the PS5 took over 50% of the share of sales. And then next came Switch 2, and they only had about like half of that. And then after that came the next playground. We've been talking about that recently, which was not too much lower than that. And we know that that thing shifted 300,000 units in November. So based on extremely, extremely rough estimates, that could potentially put the Switch 2 maybe even around like 500K in the US for the entire month of November. And yeah, especially for a launch year, it's kind of disastrous. Like it really, I don't know.
For a launch year, it's kind of disastrous. Again, they didn't have a discount, moron. And he's not mentioning that at all.
He's still keen on the whole discount thing. Like you're making in fun of him for repeating the same thing. You're literally doing that 10 times more.
Whatsoever. So this pizza is being very disingenuous and dishonest right now in this video because he's acting like they're...
What is he dishonest about? He literally just said that, and they were true. Like, they were all over the place.
They had some kind of a holiday sale when they didn't. And he's not mentioning the fact that PlayStation 5 was getting their ass kicked so badly they had to take off $150.
That's not important to this whole story, dude. And plus, they weren't getting their ass kicked
Off of their PlayStation 5 consoles in order to make these big sales. So that means every stupid moron out there who wanted a PlayStation 5 rushed to get one because of that. Right?
That's a good deal. Like, I don't blame people for getting a PS5 that they've been wanting for so long. Like, my brother just got one this Christmas. And I'm happy he got one because he's loving it.
So, yeah, it's just funny how he's like, oh, well, you know, they made up 50% of sales. Yeah, how about you explain to people that they took off $150 off of their console? Why don't you explain that, Arlo?
It's really not great. The Switch 2 had sold 10 million units by the end of September. That was the end of the fiscal quarter. And those early sales were so strong that Nintendo actually significantly raised their sales forecast for the entire first year of the Switch 2's life from 15 million to 19 million. That was how strong those early sales were. Some analysts were even predicting that most of those additional sales past 10 on the way to 19 would happen right now, would happen right here during this holiday season, which is really funny because you look at the greater picture and like economically, you're like, oh no, this does make sense. We probably should have seen this coming. But then it's like, okay, well then why didn't the analysts see it coming? Why isn't that? Isn't that their job? Why were they predicting that everything would be hunky-dory when, if you follow the tech industry, you can like see how AI is disrupting things and how that's probably going to cause shortages? I don't know. I haven't actually dug into everything every analyst has ever said, so don't take that too seriously. Basically, though, we don't have solid numbers, and we especially don't have solid numbers across the board in every region. Obviously, different regions are affected differently by all of this stuff. It's probably going to be a good month or so before we get official data from Nintendo and we know for sure how the Switch 2's first holiday went. But at least at the moment, it's not looking great. We don't have any reason to believe that it has gone well. And yes, I really do believe the economic situation is large.
All right, so that's going to be it for this dumb right here. So yeah, He's basically admitting that we don't have any solid numbers, but he still wants to open up his stupid mouth anyways, because, you know, he's got a grift and he's got a show for these stupid ass Nintendo haters out there. This guy probably is Nintendine. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he's got the same stupid voice. I
don't even know who Nintendine is. I'm gonna have to search him up eventually.
The only difference is that he doesn't always put out negative videos, and he tries to sound like somebody who is not a hater. That's kind of the only difference. But he's got.
It's not hating. He's just stating the facts.
That same pansy voice. And right now he's grifting, and he's doing exactly what Nintendine does a lot of. So, Arlo, he's a piece of shit. Can't stand his dumb. And can't stand most of these other fake YouTubers who, you know.
That's another common thing he does. He likes to call people fake.
They're just so subtle, and so they're just their passive aggressive bullshit is what pisses me off with these people, and his dishonesty too. Dishonesty, not mentioning the fact that PlayStation 5 had a huge discount. They were the only ones that had a big discount this Black Friday.
Yeah, we're already aware at this point, dude. You mentioned it several times, and you don't even have to mention it because it's not related to Nintendo whatsoever. I mean, he mentioned it a few times, but the whole thing is about Nintendo, not PlayStation.
Nintendo didn't have any of that. So, of course, they didn't sell well. They didn't sell gangbusters. No one's going to be rushing, you know, to Walmart or whatever store. No one's going to be waking up early on Black Friday to get a Nintendo console.
You don't know that, so.
There was no deals to begin with. So why would you be waiting in line for hours to get a Switch 2? You could get it any other day. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. This guy's a pretentious piece of crap. Him. You guys let me know what you think about this.
Alright. Alright, I got one more video we're going to have to talk about. And I think I saved the best one for last, so.
Alright, let's look at the definition of brain rot for a quick sec right now. Brain rot is the perceived loss of intelligence or critical thinking skills, especially on account of the overconsumption of unchallenging or frivolous content posted online. Example, excessive social media use can lead to brain rot.
Like, all these brain rot memes that are over the internet that I hate so much, dude.
So this is actually a real thing, brain rot. It's not just an insult that people throw around on the internet. There are a lot of people today in this day and age with brain rot. People who just consume mindlessly on social media, especially people who are on TikTok. I mean, I've seen guys at work, coworkers, just on stupid TikTok and whatever dumb social media outlet they're watching, where it's like a short video after another short video after another short video, and the content is supposed to be funny. I don't find any of it funny. Most of it is just flat out stupid.
Yeah, I don't think most of them are funny either. I really don't like most of them. But what he's going to talk about here is stupid. It's kind of funny in my opinion.
But it's lunch dialogue. So what does watching TikTok videos? I don't know, gang. You know how
talking about stuff. Skip ahead to the main show.
It's like, why be just well, there's like no pleasing them whatsoever. You really are just stupid. Show me why game you as RG. So as I mentioned, we got this sorry piece of shit known as RGT85. Right here you can see he says, I thought I wouldn't like Kirby Air Riders, but so just reading this you would think that he's gonna say but he did like it, right? But you're about to see this is just a misleading title because the guy's just that much of a piece of shit. Let's go ahead and click on his conclusion.
Stuff like that. But this was fun.
Okay. Look at this. He skips ahead to 9 minutes and 22 seconds in this video. A whole 5 minutes before this video is over. He said that this title that RGT put up is pretty much just like clickbait. But from what I watched here in this video is that there was none of that mentioned. And I watched the whole RGT video of this game, so it is not clickbait whatsoever.
Stuff like that. But this was fun. You know, it's fun to play it online. There is a bit of a ranking system.
Real quick, he's gonna, tell us one of his problems that he has with this game. So, even though it's a very fun game, he's got some stupid reasons for not being able to enjoy it. Just listen to this.
Them as well. You can customize your license and stuff. And yeah.
By the way, this is not my video that looks like this. It is actually his. So, I'm sorry if you're going to see this screen the entire time.
No, this is where things kind of get interesting with me, because I want to talk about some of the things I don't really care for with this game. And it might rub some people the wrong way, but I mean, I'll be honest, I don't really care. Here's one of the problems with this game, is that Kirby Air Riders tries to be like Smash Brothers. The menus look like Smash Brothers. The way you unlock things by playing the game is exactly like Smash Brothers. Power-ups like Smash Brothers. Large amounts of characters and stuff like Smash Brothers. And Smash Brothers to me works because it might not be a great fighting game in my opinion, but it is a great celebration of video games. There's so many different franchises to choose from. With this game, you're only taking in Kirby stuff. And, Kirby's a great franchise, but I don't feel like there's a lot of, like, wow moments. And, wow, that was, so cool. I unlocked Banana Waddle Dee. And it's like, it's not quite the same as unlocking Simon Belmont. Even the sounds and the tutorials and everything feels like Smash Brothers. And I don't know, that kind of just bothers me a little bit. Like,
That kind of just bothers me. This guy's such a So yeah, he's fucking crying about the fact that this game made by Masahiro Sakurai, who also makes Super Smash Brothers, feels and looks just like Super Smash Brothers. And here's the thing. The original Kirby Air Ride game, which this dick said that he played and he didn't like it, that game originally had this UI before Super Smash Brothers had it. So yeah.
No, that's not true. Okay, so, yes, Kirby Air Riders does use the same UI and all these other stuff from Smash Brothers. It's kind of a weird thing to not like, but that's really his own opinion, so it's fine. And it also makes sense that the creator of Kirby and Smash Brothers, I'm forgetting his name, married the designer of the UI, so yeah, it all makes total sense. But Kirby didn't start it all first. Like, the original Kirby Air Ride that came out on the GameCube has the same UI as Smash Melee, but Smash Melee came out before Kirby Air Riders. Smash Melee came out a week or two after the GameCube was released, and I don't know what year Kirby Air Riders or Kirby Air Ride came out, but it was definitely way after Smash Melee came out. And, like in this case, Smash Ultimate came out first, like in 2018. This game came out in 26. Or no, not 26. It came out in 25. My bad, sorry. So, yeah, obviously it's going to have the same UI and all that stuff, which I don't have a big problem, but he's just saying, like, this guy is making it sound like he just hates it because the UI is the same. No, that's not the case. And Kirby didn't start it first.
You stupid ass. It's gonna have the same UI because 1, it was designed by Masahiro Sakurai. 2, the original game had that same UI. Dumb. But it's just so funny how that's like somehow a negative. I don't like that. It's not Smash because
He didn't say he didn't like it. He's just more that he just didn't care that it was exactly the same. And this guy just wants to insult him for that too.
Because, Smash, you have these different characters from other games, That's pretty much what he's about. So basically, because you don't have Sonic, or Pac-Man as unlockable characters, yeah, he doesn't like the game.
No, that's not what he said at all. He didn't complain that. He didn't say at all that, or even sounded like that, because there was no other characters outside of Kirby that were in Kirby Air Riders. That was not the whole point. Not at all. He's just making it sound like it is.
So he doesn't really like games that are fun. All he cares about is, no way, this character from another video game. Just dumb, superficial crap.
You literally skipped a whole 9 minutes in this video that you're watching. So you can't prove that otherwise because you decided to skip 9 minutes ahead of it. He probably likes the game, but you're making it sound like that he just straight up hates it.
Pretty much is what all he cares about. That's what excites him. Because then he could go online and be like,
no, that's not the case either.
He could post his stupid face, you know, of him looking excited or whatever, and he could have the whatever character it is in the thumbnail. Oh, look, it's freaking Simon Belmont in Kirby Air Riders. You know, he could do something like that, you know? I guess because it doesn't really...
No, he doesn't talk about stuff like that. He doesn't do that.
really benefit his YouTube channel. He doesn't like it. So it's got to have, you know, it's got to have these characters from other video games or whatever. Otherwise, it's not fun for him. Because, oh, it's only Kirby characters. Like, yeah, it's a Kirby video game. You trailer trash piece of shit. So this is what I'm talking about with fucking brain rot. You know, this guy doesn't really enjoy.
And that's where he thinks this is brain rot. That makes no sense, dude. And you have no proof of that either. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Enjoy video games as much as he just enjoys popular topics that are gonna really boost his YouTube channel. But this is just such a dumb thing to complain about, you know?
It is a weird thing to complain about, but that's just his nitpick. That's his own opinion. And I don't care if he doesn't like it or not. That's fine.
But this is a guy who overstimulates himself with basketball, WWE, all right, and then every other stupid video game that he pretends to like Sonic Racing. This guy's just a worthless piece of shit. I don't even know why people enjoy listening to this dumb. This guy's a idiot.
Yeah, he likes sports. What's the problem there? And he thinks that he doesn't enjoy any of his games. How would you know that? Like, like, how would you know that personally? Like, all you're doing is just watching these videos. He's talking about these games. He's putting his own opinions there. And you're just like, oh, he's pretending to like these games. What a piece of shit. Like, no. that's not the case at all.
It has new features that show you easier than ever who you...
Shut the fuck up. Now here's another idiot that has brain rot who I don't care for anymore. This is a guy who, at times he's got good videos, other times he's just a complete stupid. But
alright, and this one, I don't even know who Botox Games was. I watched this video just to get this perspective of it, and yeah, this one was pretty stupid on Nukem's part.
Botox Games. This guy, what a dipshit. What another fake ass YouTuber who goes with the
There he goes again, he's fake.
popular opinion and not really how he actually feels with the video game. And again, it's probably for the same reasons. This dude is just completely brain rot. He can't enjoy a fun video game.
And once again, he has no proof to even support that claim.
This dude literally said that the road trip mode in Kirby was boring. That is like the most fun mode you can play in Kirby Air Riders. Besides the city trial itself, that's the most fun mode that you can actually play. Especially if you, I mean, for like a single player experience. That mode, I mean, it just throws so many different random mini games at you. The top ride mode.
Okay, so I'm not. Okay, so a lot of my friends and a lot of people that I hang out with, a lot of people talk about the road trip mode. I think it's okay. Like, it's nothing special. It's pretty much one way to have a single player story. And the mini games are fun. Like, pretty much the whole point of this road trip is that you upgrade. You can upgrade your stats with by playing all these mini games in there, and you can also get the air rides in the game, only in road trip mode. But regardless, though, you can just unlock the air rides in the unlockables, so it's not that big of a deal. And the mini games are fun. Like, there's the there's a top right mode, there's the normal races, and some modes where you have to get in first place before time goes out. You have to beat a certain enemy. You have to beat a horde of enemies. Yeah. Sorry about that. My stepbrother knocked on my door. But yeah, there's hordes of enemies that you can take out, and a set number of, like, what am I getting with? Oh yeah, there are buttons that you can press, a certain amount of buttons, a horde of enemies that you can attack, one big enemy that you need to attack, a big giant rock in the city trial that you have to try to break, and some other stuff that I can't remember. Oh yeah, try to go the highest that you can, and get the highest number that you can, all this kind of stuff. That's fine. Like, those are fun. But that's all the road trip mode has to offer. Like, the road trip mode in general, the length kind of reminds me of Mario Kart World, because it's just on rails the entire time, and there's just nothing in between here and there. You can overcharge and go faster, but that's really about it. And it gets repetitive easily because it's just the same modes over and over again. And the bosses are no different either. You just have to keep attacking them or get first place. Nothing different there.
If anything, it's got more modes than City Trial itself. The road trip mode, that is.
Road trip mode does have more minigames introduced, but they're not different whatsoever.
But according to this jack, yeah, it's I thought it was boring. That's what he says. I'm not gonna bother, search for that part of the video. But here's the thing about
a lot of people do have mixed feelings over Kirby Air Riders. That's fine. I enjoy Kirby Air Riders. I think it's really fun. It's way more fun than Mario Kart World. He may get mad at me for that, but I don't care, dude. But yeah, not a lot of people are going to enjoy it. Even Masahiro Sakurai didn't expect the game to do that well. So there's just some things out there.
a bow. This guy, he in his video about the video game awards and the nominees or whatever, he mentioned Donkey Kong Bonanza, and he said that Donkey Kong Bonanza, out of all the nominees for video game of the year, is on the bottom of his list. So he puts Donkey Kong Bonanza at the very bottom, and every other game higher above it. That would include Death Stranding 2, which is a piece of shit game.
I mean, everyone is entitled to their own opinions about Donkey Kong Bonanza. I love Donkey Kong Bonanza. I think it's a fantastic game, but not everyone is going to enjoy it, and that's completely fine. You're completely entitled to your own opinion. So he wants to put it above. He wants to put it above every other game, like Death Stranding 2, which that game is also fantastic. I freaking love Death Stranding 2. So you can't. He's butthurt about that Donkey Kong is below in his list.
A cinematic experience. But this stupid apparently thinks that game is better than Donkey Kong Bonanza. He actually said that he put Hollow Knight Silk Song above Donkey Kong Banana. Let me just say this. He's a fake motherfucker, and he's just trying to pander to all of the stupid idiots on the internet.
You know what? I probably would too, because Silk Song is a great game. I love Silk Song.
who are very loud, very vocal, and have been supporting that game. And the only reason they're supporting that game is because it's multiplat, it's indie. That's about it. Because here's the thing, here's a better...
No, it's just a very good sequel to the first game that was also very good. And we waited a long time for this game anyway, so...
indie game than Hollow Knight Silksong, Hades 2. Hades 2 is a way better game. In fact, it got a better rating on Metacritic. Now look,
Okay, so I haven't played Hades 2. I do plan on playing it eventually. So I have nothing to say against it. Which a lot of people say Hades 2 is a fantastic game, so you may be okay with that one.
obviously don't give a shit about Metacritic. I think a lot of them are full of shit. But most of you idiots who pretend to care about Metacritic, it's funny how you guys don't seem to like Hades 2. And I think the reason is pretty damn obvious. It's because Hades 2 is a console exclusive for the Switch 2. It's available on...
Is that really why people would hate Hades 2? That honestly doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, oh, Hades 2 is so bad because it's only on Switch 2. The game is also on PC, but I understand there are millions of console players, and of course it's not on PlayStation and Xbox. But I wouldn't think that's the main reason why people would dislike this game. And also, like I said before, and you mentioned it too, a lot of people like Hades 2. So I wouldn't think that would be the main reason.
On PC, but it's not on PlayStation and it's not on Xbox. So I think because it's a console exclusive for Nintendo, you guys just don't like it, you dismiss it. And that's why it's like the least voted for game for the Game of the Year nominees. Even though, you know, apparently it's a great game. It's way better than Hollow Knight Silksong. That's for damn sure. It's way more fun than that stupid game.
Like I said, I haven't played Hades 2, so I can't like argue against that.
But you guys don't like it. The internet doesn't like that game. The internet doesn't like that game because it's a console exclusive for the Nintendo Switch 2. So of course, that game's not that popular on the internet. And of course, this idiot Bo, you know, he doesn't, you know, he's not gonna talk that highly about that game. I mean, I haven't heard him say much about it, but him talking about Hollow Knight Silksong being above Donkey Kong Bonanza, saying that Donkey Kong Bonanza is at the bottom of the list when it comes to the nominees, it just shows how full of shit he is. The guy's just trying to pander to the internet. He's another idiot with brain rot, and he's just another person who I'm not.
That there's not enough evidence to prove your claim, dude. Like, because he puts Donkey Kong Bonanza on below the list, and he puts Hollow Knight Silksong on top of it, you're brain rot for that. No, that doesn't make sense whatsoever.
Not gonna take seriously. I can't stand these fake YouTubers, you know? They just go based on what the internet says and thinks, and that's about it.
No literal proof.
Now, he did make a video recently, you know, talking about the Switch 2 hate and all of that, but I think that's just him trying to play both sides, really. He's trying to pander to all kinds of people. You know, that's all I think that is, but this is another guy who I think has fucking brain rot, and I don't take his opinion seriously. So, yeah, we have...
I mean, I'm not taking you seriously either, so...
This is an issue among gamers. These are people who own multiple consoles. They try to play Ed.
And once again, he blames it on the people who have multiple consoles.
Every single game that comes out, every single game that is talked about, they're going to get their hands on it, they're going to play it, and because they're so overstimulated and their brains are just fried, all they're going to do is just, they're going to praise the game that the internet is praising and talking about. Not so much, you know, they're not going to, you know, praise the game that deserves to be praised, that actually is the best game to play. It's just to, you know, go with the flow, go with the, you know, status quo, and that's it. Because they're like unable to enjoy games anymore. So that's why they're pretending to love Hollow Knight Silksong so much and act like it's so great. It's like, well, here's the thing. how is Hades 2 not getting as much praise when that's a far more fun game and it's an indie game? You guys pretend to love indie games so much, right?
I wouldn't know the reason, but I don't think it's just because it's exclusive to Switch. Like, that's just a pretty dumb reason.
We love these indie games. You know, when Hollow Knight Silksong came out, everyone was acting like it's the gold standard, and you know, AAA studios. This should be a wake-up call to AAA studios, and it's like nobody said that.
I mean, everyone has their reasons to say that because every AAA studios are not putting as much quality as they used to be, and most companies just care about microtransactions and live service games. So I can't really blame people for thinking that.
About Hades 2. Nobody was giving Hades 2 the same praise they were giving to Hollow Knight Silksong. And it's for a very obvious reason. It's because that game is a console exclusive to Nintendo.
I don't think it's obvious. Like, you probably don't know either, you just think it's that.
Not on PlayStation, not on Xbox. Still on PC, but that's not good enough. You guys hate that game because it's a console exclusive to Nintendo. So, like, how dare they? How dare they do that? How dare they, you know, make their game exclusive for Nintendo like that, you know? So you guys don't praise Hades 2. This is just how fake the internet is. Most of you guys, you don't really give a shit about games and video games being fun. You all have your own stupid little, you know, biases.
Wait a minute, what did you say?
Most of you guys, you don't really give a shit about games and video games being fun. You all have your own stupid.
We don't give a shit about video games being fun. Okay.
The little, you know, biases and whatnot. Because if you guys really did care about video games, you would be huge Nintendo fans.
He thinks we hate video games because of our personal biases. Wow. That may be a few people's opinion, but why do you think that's the main reason?
Because if you guys really did care about video games, you would be huge Nintendo fans, but you're not, so.
Okay. If we really did care about Nintendo games, we'd be huge Nintendo fans, but we're not. Well, I guess my 3 Nintendo playthroughs I've done, I guess I just didn't care about them. I guess I was fake about the whole thing. I just didn't enjoy them. And my Breath of the Wild playthrough that I deleted, I guess I just didn't enjoy that either. I guess I'm just a fake Nintendo fan. Nah. And that was the end of the video. I kind of forgot to talk about Nukem at the end of the video, so I had to do this quickly. But yeah, this was definitely an interesting experience. I have never seen a Nintendo fanboy, which he actually is, because it says in his description that he supports Nintendo like wholeheartedly. And I don't know why, like, him talking about these Nintendo creators, calling them grifters and like brain rots, he really has not shown any support or evidence to prove that these are grifters and brain rots. Like, he's done none of that. All he did in this entire 3 videos that we watched is get so mad and call these people dumb and all these other insults to them, and talking about like just talks about like, you own so many consoles, you got PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. Like, who the hell are you for playing PlayStation? Like, no one gives a damn. Like, he's so upset that like people own multiple consoles and they're complaining about the Nintendo prices, but that's not the point. and it's not the point at all. He just wants to. He's just trying to shift the blame on the YouTuber. And I find it so ridiculous that like people leave a comment. Not all the people, but some people actually support that. Like they support his that like, oh yeah, they definitely had a falling out, and they are a scumbag. And it's like how can you agree with this? He's literally done nothing but rage bait the entire time. And in my personal opinion, or my theory, is that he probably does like these Nintendo like content creators. He probably does. But it's just these videos specifically that he has seen, he probably got so butthurt about it that he decides to like, I'm gonna make a video about these people and calm grifters for no reason. I'm only doing it because they hurt my feelings. Like that's pretty much it. That's how it feels. And this is not the only video that he does this kind of stuff like that. I watched a few other videos that he makes most recently, and I'm not gonna go into full detail into them because that's not my goal of this video. But yeah, they're incredibly misleading, and it's like misinformation. Like he keeps leaving key details and not actually telling these people what is actually going on. Like in one of his videos, he's saying that Nintendo did very well this holiday season. Although it was official, and a lot of people support this, that the sales for the Nintendo Switch 2 did not go that well. And of course, you admitted it because you say that Nintendo doesn't freaking do a sale on their consoles, and plus people are not buying it. You are aware of that, but you still just decide to make a video of it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But Nukem, if you end up seeing this video and you ended up being butthurt about me talking about you, of the flaws that you left and all the misinformation that you leave, I don't care, dude. Like you can like say stuff to me, but it's not gonna hurt me. I did what I think was right to do, and that's it. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope and have a great day. And as of right now, it is 2026. Happy New Year. Alright. Goodbye.